Why you should never retain an attorney. What if the very person you hired to protect your rights was contractually bound to the court, not you? Discover the truth behind legal representation and why retaining an attorney might mean surrendering your sovereignty instead of defending it. 1. Legal identity and the concept of the client. The term client, as defined in Corpus Juris Secundum, implies subordination to the court. A client is legally designated as a ward, a classification that includes minors and persons of unsound mind. When a person retains an attorney at law, typically a member of the bar, they implicitly claim incapacity to represent themselves. This triggers a legal transformation. The individual is no longer acting in their own right, but is instead considered a property of the court. This relationship is facilitated through the concept of legal representation, wherein the prefix re- in represent denotes a legal stand-in rather than self-presentation. Footnote: this section introduces how retaining an attorney alters one's legal status and rights under common court procedure. 2. The bar attorney as administrator of court property. A bar-certified attorney functions as an agent of the court, administering legal decisions on behalf of a client who has legally waived their own capacity. Because clients are declared legally incapable, bar attorneys are required to act in their stead. This process effectively strips individuals of their sovereignty and subjects them to institutional control. The legal fiction created through this representation constrains clients from asserting their rights, often necessitating a legal process to reclaim them, such as filing for ineffective assistance of counsel. Footnote: this section explains the court's administrative use of bar attorneys and the resulting consequences for client autonomy. 3. Attorney in fact versus attorney at law. There are two primary types of attorneys: attorney at law and attorney in fact. An attorney in fact is not licensed by the bar and operates under a private contract. This contract-based relationship is defined through a power of attorney and permits the individual to retain full rights while authorizing specific actions by the agent. This arrangement is often used in personal or estate matters and preserves the principal's sovereignty. No legal certification is necessary to be an attorney in fact, and anyone can fulfill this role provided the contract is valid. Footnote: this section contrasts the roles and authorities of attorneys in fact and attorneys at law, with emphasis on contractual autonomy. 4. Self-representation and legal empowerment. Choosing to present oneself in court, rather than be represented, requires legal literacy and courage, but offers profound empowerment. The dynamic in court often reveals that many bar attorneys lack deep legal comprehension and rely instead on performance and procedural gamesmanship. By contrast, self-representation informed by guidance from an attorney in fact can yield more genuine advocacy. This shift repositions the individual as the source of legal authority, rather than a passive participant. Footnote: this section promotes the benefits of self-representation and criticizes the theatrics and inefficiencies of bar-represented litigation. 5. The profit motive behind litigation. Litigation, especially in family and divorce court, often devolves into a financial scheme. Bar attorneys may coordinate behind the scenes, prolonging disputes to maximize billable hours while emotionally and financially draining their clients. This orchestrated performance culminates in predictable settlements only after extensive exploitation of both parties. Such patterns indicate that much of the courtroom drama is economically motivated rather than legally substantive. Footnote: this section discusses how the legal industry profits from prolonging disputes under the guise of advocacy. 6. Legal complexity as a barrier to sovereignty. Legal codes, such as those in immigration and nationality law, often appear overwhelming due to their volume and opaque language. However, deeper examination frequently reveals that many provisions are either irrelevant or redundant. The key is identifying definitional gold, the essential clauses that dictate legal status. Once located, these clauses can transform one's understanding and engagement with the law, making previously intimidating doctrines approachable and actionable. Footnote: this section demystifies legal code interpretation and emphasizes the importance of identifying core statutory definitions. 7. Reframing legal power through self-governance. Engaging with the legal system from a position of self-governance requires dedication, but offers unmatched personal empowerment. By understanding court procedure, legal definitions, and statutory mechanisms, one can neutralize fear of legal confrontation. Traffic tickets, citations, and bureaucratic threats lose power when one understands how to challenge them administratively and lawfully. This approach encourages the individual to view the legal system as a tool rather than a threat. Footnote: this section illustrates how legal mastery can dissolve fear and create leverage in adversarial encounters. 8. Understanding citizenship versus nationality. Under federal law, particularly 8 U.S.C. Section 1101, citizenship and nationality are legally distinct. Citizenship often signifies a contractual, statutory attachment to federal jurisdiction, whereas nationality denotes allegiance to a nation without necessarily implying subjection to its statutory system. A non-citizen national is an individual who owes allegiance to the United States, but is not a federal citizen, allowing for unique tax and legal positioning. Footnote: this section clarifies the legal divergence between citizenship and nationality under U.S. federal law. 9. Taxation and legal status. The Internal Revenue Code classifies taxpayers primarily as resident aliens or non-resident aliens. A non-citizen national who does not elect to be treated as a U.S. person for tax purposes may qualify as a non-resident alien, only taxable on U.S. sourced income. Most individuals unknowingly opt into U.S. taxpayer status by signing W-9 forms, voter registration applications, or driver's license contracts, thereby naturalizing into a taxable jurisdiction. Footnote: this section explains how legal declarations and contracts trigger taxation under federal statutes. 10. The role of legal fictions and corporate entities. Every U.S. person is presumed to have a corresponding legal fiction, an artificial entity often written in uppercase letters, e.g. John Doe. This entity can be contracted with independently through an agent-principal relationship. By identifying oneself as an agent of the legal person, one can perform actions, such as voter registration or trust formation, without personally subjecting oneself to statutory jurisdiction. This creates a firewall between the natural person and the artificial corporate entity. Footnote: this section introduces how individuals may interact with legal systems via corporate fictions while retaining natural rights.